All right, in this video, we're looking at our lesson 2.3, slope-intercept form, which is on page 8. All right, so slope-intercept form, you have been introduced this in our previous unit, so we'll just kind of review it in this lesson. So you have here y equals mx plus b, where m, this number, that's the coefficient of x, okay? The coefficient of x. I'm just going to write it. Of x. 1 second. Coefficient just means the number in front of the x, or it's being multiplied for x. You don't have to write this part down, but if you, for example, if you have like something like 2x, the coefficient would be 2, okay? Or negative 5x, the coefficient would be negative 5. Or even like if you have a fraction, the coefficient would be 1/2 of x. It could also mean like, let's say you have 0.5b. You know, the variable here is b, the coefficient would be 0.5, okay? If you wrote it, you can keep it. If not, you don't have to write it. Anyway, so that number represents the slope, okay? Or the rate of change. We can say the rate of change. Okay, and then the number here, the constant, okay, the constant is the y-intercept. Okay, the constant doesn't have a variable attached to it, represents the y-intercept. And like if we're using word problems, it will probably say something like initial value. Okay? Sometimes it also says things like flat fee. Let me write that down. So flat fee, basically, or maybe it would say something like starting point, starting at. So I'll just say starting point. These are just the different types of vocabulary that we use for that. Okay, words we use. All right, so to write an equation in slope-intercept form, you need to find the slope and y-intercept. So there's different ways that we can do that, given a graph or just using words, okay? Let's look at some examples. So it says write an equation of a line. So I'm going to write y equals, with the slope of -3, so that's just going to be -3 times x, plus my y-intercept of -8. So you can say plus -8. We don't like to have two symbols like this next to each other, so we're just going to make it into a -8. Okay? Write an equation. So y equals, the slope is 1/5x, with a y-intercept of 0, so plus 0, but whenever it's plus 0, we don't like to write the plus 0. We'll just leave it like that. All right, so this one's a little bit more tricky because we have to find the slope and the y-intercept. So let's go ahead and find the slope, and then let's go ahead and find the y-intercept. The y-intercept is a little bit easier just because it's right there. You can see where the line crosses the y-axis. Looks like it crosses it at -4, so that's right there. And then the slope, I'll go ahead and do the rise over run. So it's going up 2, so the rise is 2, and then the run is 1. So the slope is going to be 2/1, which is just equal to 2. All right, so then my equation is going to be y equals 2x minus 4. On this case, you can see it's going to slope is negative, so I'm going to go ahead and find the slope. And then the y-intercept. The y-intercept is the easy one, which is right there. That's at +1. And then the slope looks like it is going down. So down 1, 2 over 1. So this is going to be -2 over 1, 2, 3, +3. So -2 over 3. All right, so to put it all together, my equation is going to be y equals -2/3x. And then my y-intercept is 1, so +1, so +1. Okay. All right, guys, that was a short video. Hopefully this was a good review from what we've been doing, and we'll talk about the next lesson in the next video. Thanks, guys.